Okay, so the question, manual transmission or DSG? I'm in a DSG Volkswagen Golf GTI today to kind of try to answer that question. I want to see if it's just as fun for me personally. Now, this is a GTI, pretty well equipped, a lot like the one I drove earlier. This one is a 2015. It's got the DSG transmission. It's I'm going to take it down the same road that I drove the manual transmission GTI. All right, here we go. This is the road. So I will say, if you're in a taller gear and you put it down, it doesn't, and you're in the actual full manual mode, it won't downshift for you by itself, which is good. So you get to keep the gear that you want. I will say its power delivery is great. It's making me smile, so that's good. I was told with the DSG, when you start to add power to these things, you don't have to worry so much about the clutches, because these clutches will handle much more power than your traditional clutch in a 6-speed manual transmission. Now, okay, it's fun. It's still fun. I thought, and I'm not really pushing it any harder than I was in the other one. I thought that I was going to want to try to get the fun out of this, but it's smoother than I expected. It's pretty good. What I like about this is you can drive it normally, quietly, and it feels like just a normal automatic transmission. But then you bump over, put it in the manual, sport mode, and now it becomes a little more fun. The shifts are so quick, you honestly don't even feel them happen. So I don't get how they do that, but they do it. It is pretty impressive, especially. So, overall, what do I think? It's kind of tough to say because I like this so much. I'm surprised. It really kind of taught me a lot about the new generation of DSGs. I have driven an M5. I drove an 08 M5 with the paddle shifters, and the transmission was so slow it was horrible. And I drove a, I would say probably 03 or 04 M3 with the paddle shifters, and it was a little bit quicker than, surprisingly quicker than the M5s, but it was pretty rough at slow speeds, which was kind of disappointing. So I always had this kind of bad opinion, I'm going to say a wrong opinion, of the DSG transmission. Any consideration, I always was like, if you want a true sports car, you get a manual transmission. That's the only way it can be fun. But I was wrong. This was a blast to drive. It was very enjoyable. Would I buy a DSG from here on out? No. No, I still, if you can get it in a manual, I would buy it in a manual just because of where I live. I don't deal with a ton of traffic. I don't do a lot of autocrossing. So to me, it's not as important. If you're a diehard, want the fastest times possible, this is what you go with. If you really like having the fastest thing available in the model, surprisingly, lately it's always been the paddle shifters, like the Golf R. The fastest one in a quarter mile is the one with the DSG. So I think it really depends on what kind of person you are. I don't think there's anything wrong with either choice. So it comes down to personal preference, the kind of things you enjoy in driving a car. Thanks again to Vorderman Volkswagen for allowing me to do another driving review. I'll put a link to their website in the description. Please check it out. And yeah, thanks again. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.
And don't forget to check out my review on the 2016 Golf GTI for more details on the GTI.